Hello, Twitter. Hello, Twitch. Hello, Periscope. Hello, everybody, wherever you are. It is Wine Wednesday, which I don't even realize we planned it for this day, so I'm excited. Cheers to that. And I am excited because the one thing I miss is talking to winemakers since I've been stuck at home. And I have a fabulous winemaker with me today to chat with. And her name is Zidanelia Arcidiacono. People call her Z, and I feel like Z or Zita. I just found out they call her Zita, which I like as well. And she is with a winery in California, Sonoma Cutrer. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yolanda.
So say your full name, because I know it's beautiful, but it's a tongue twister.
It's hard. I know my father always told me, with that last name I gave you, you're gonna be in trouble. So it's Zidanelia Arcidiacono.
Okay. Woo. All right. One day I'm gonna get it 100% right. But I went in. So speaking of Argentina, so I know you were born in Texas. I was born and raised in Texas. You left I was born and raised in Houston. I know you left when you were young, like 3 or something like that. And then you went to Argentina. And that is a little bit the responsibility for your wine journey. So tell us how Argentina influenced your whole interest in wine.
Yeah, so everything started in Argentina. I grew up in Mendoza. My father was from Argentina, and at the age of like 2.5, little before 3, my family moved to Mendoza. So Mendoza, the most important industry is the wine industry. So it's surrounded by beautiful vineyards. You have the Andes and wineries all over. So it becomes part of who you are as well, with the different like celebrations we have also for the harvest time, vendimia. So I grew up surrounded by all of that, and with no winemaking background, no one in my family, although my grandfather used to make some homemade wine, and he will always bring some grape juice from a Muscadinian Muscat variety for the children. So I started very young drinking juice, and suddenly I found in Argentina a lot of winemakers which I had like interactions with. My father, from a very young age, he asked me to go help at his restaurant, and it was in a very well-known region, Luján de Cuyo, for wineries and vineyards. So I've always enjoy the passion winemakers had about their life. And soon I got the idea that they were actually talking about winemaking and their career, their profession. So in high school, I was like, oh, that sounds very interesting. I think that's something I want to be. I want to be surrounded by beautiful places. So where the vine grows, you know, it's going to be beautiful. I want to meet people. I want to have conversations about wine. I love the artistic side. I love the smell of beautiful wines, and it's an agricultural industry. So I truly enjoyed and felt I was passionate about it. So I went to get the degree in viticulture and enology.
So, okay. I guess for me, since I love wine from Argentina, one of the best press trips I ever took was to Buenos Aires. I love that area. It's beautiful. Why would you not stay in Argentina and make wine? How did you end up in California?
Well, once you finish university and more, when you start learning about the old world of wine and the new world, and we were like studying from our textbooks about California, of course, France as well. I started like thinking, well, I need to start traveling. I need to know other regions. I need to know other people. And actually my first adventure was in France. So I traveled to France, and I got the chance to work helping the winemaker making rosés. And, once that little bug starts of traveling and you start enjoying places and getting to know new cultures, I decided, well, my family moved back to Texas, and I was like, well, place is California. So
I didn't realize that. I didn't. So they moved back. Where are they in Texas?
They are in Brownsville, so in the Valley, so down south, in Brownsville, Texas.
Okay, still in Texas. Do you make it back often? Because I hear the food and wine now I mean, we always had good food in Texas, but I just hear the wine is just becoming a big thing there. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I still have my mother's family lives in Brownsville, Texas. So hi, everyone.
Hey, shout out. Okay.
So yeah, I enjoy going back.
So Pinot Noir, let's get to this grape. So it looks like you like to specialize in Pinot Noir. And then I caught a video of a virtual tasting you all did. And I guess your head winemaker, the Aussie, was saying that, she loves Pinot Noir. So when did you decide to specialize in this grape, and why Pinot Noir?
Well, I've always thought about it. And then I was like, why not? Why not?
Why not? That's a good one.
But actually, it became a challenge for me when I learned and worked in Argentina. I didn't get the chance to work with Pinot Noirs. They usually grow in cooler climates. So in Mendoza, the best places are more in the south, Neuquén, Rio Negro. So I didn't get the chance to work with Pinot Noir. And when I came to California, that was one of my first assignments, work with Pinot Noir. So I soon realized again that it was such a special variety, so difficult to grow, really hard to make great Pinot Noir. And I took it as a challenge, and I love challenges. I'm a little competitive.
No.
So I was like, you'll see, I learn and I'll make Pinot Noir. So, and that was one of the favorite varieties of a head winemaker that I worked with, Dennis Martin, over at Fetzer. So I was just so inspired about making a great Pinot Noir that truly represented the terroir, the region, and truly show what a great Pinot Noir is. It takes a lot of work. It takes from the vineyards and a lot of patience for the winemaker also to see the ups and downs of Pinot Noir. It's a variety that one day you taste and you think it's amazing. The next day you did anything to it, to those barrels, and it'll be like, oh my God, my Pinot Noir. What happened? Then you come back a few weeks later and it comes back. So it's difficult.
Okay. So let's talk about your Pinot Noirs, because I have two. I have your Pinot Noir Rosé, your Rosé of Pinot Noir, and I have your Pinot Noir. And okay, I started on this Rosé and I'm in love. So tell us a little bit more about this wine. It is so good. If you like Rosé, this is the jam. I'm just saying. Yes. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Thank you. I enjoy it too.
It's great. You could put in so many things. Like I'm like, ooh, I could pair it with this. I could pair it with that. I do have a little Indian food I'm going to put with it later. So.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's a great suggestion. Well, Pinot Noir, Rosé of Pinot Noir. I started in 2016 making Rosé here. And many times you ask, well, why did you choose Pinot Noir? We grow Pinot Noir here. We have 2 vineyards planted, actually 3, but one it has a very small amount planted with Pinot Noir that we own, we grow. And we truly felt that to make the quality of Pinot Noir that we wanted to make, we needed to have full control. So this Rosé, it's born from the vineyard. So we grow the fruit thinking, okay, this is gonna be a Rosé, so larger berries, a little more crop. When we go out and taste, beautiful. When we go out and taste, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be rosé. So the picking decision is completely different than what I do for reds. And then the method of winemaking, we pick early. It comes early to the winery. That's the first fruit that I received. And then you want to preserve the natural acid. So then it's so natural in your palate. We want to preserve all those beautiful and delicate flavors and aromas. So we go 50% direct to press and 50% I keep in maceration. So skins in contact with the juice to be able to extract this beautiful color that it's like a beautiful, like pink color. And it already starts speaking about the style of Pinot Noir that you're going to be tasting and enjoying. I always look for our Pinot Noirs to have what you see, the expectations you have, then smell, and you get that like beautiful citrusy, some berries, but those are not the overripe berries. They're very crisp and wild. Sometimes when I'm tasting actually the fermenters, I'll get some like hibiscus flowers as well when it's fermenting, some tamarind. So, and then some grapefruit, beautiful grapefruit. And then when you try it, you taste.
It's so wonderful. Oh,
I was getting thirsty, so I needed that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful acidity, right?
Yeah, it's so great. And I keep stressing to people, stop waiting till summer to have rosé. This is so great now. I'm pushing rosé for Valentine's Day. This is it.
Yes.
And this is 2020, your 2021. This is great.
That's the latest release.
I assume though you sell out of this. I can't imagine you all don't sell out of your rosé every year. I mean, if it tastes like this is my first time having this wine, so I think it would sell out.
And since the first year, we've been getting really good results, reviews. People really enjoys it, really loves it. And now, I mean, we're in a boom of people loving rosé, learning what this style of rosés are that we find in the south of France as well. So people truly enjoying and falling in love. And as you said, you can drink rosé any month of the year. You don't have to wait for it to be summer. I've tried it during Thanksgiving, and it's amazing with that, like cranberry sauces. It just. I
agree. I so agree with you. So now let's get to do you have your red with you, or I'm the only one with the red? If you don't, I will happily.
Oh, I was like, I did not bring it, but hey.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
I think I know about that red.
Tell me a little bit more about this one. That's fine, because I want to get back to the rosé. I'm saving this probably for tomorrow, to be honest with you. I'm going to spend all night on the rosé. But tell us.
You have the Russian River Valley, right?
Yes.
So our Russian River Valley, as I said, we grow in two main vineyards, Owsley and Vine Hill. And that's the combination of the multiple blocks from those two sites. River Valley, this is the Russian River Valley Pinot Noir. It's a wonderful place to grow Pinot Noirs. It's renowned all over the world by its high quality. When you have a varietal that grows the best in that region, that's the variety you should make. And that's the whole thinking of Sonoma Cutrer. And that's why we grow Chardonnay and Pinot Noir here in the Russian River Valley. The quality, it's pristine. We have that differences in temperature from the cold nights and warmer afternoons. So Pinot Noir loves that, and we're capable to obtain a Pinot Noir that has really nice concentration, a little more concentrated, more color, more fruit expression, very spicy in the nose, and that's typical of Russian River Valley. For that one, we do a very traditional style of winemaking, and by traditional, I mean we ferment in open top fermenters. We keep all blocks separate. So we end up with about 50 different lots that then we will be combining depending on our tasting notes to create that blend. It's aged in barrels, French barrels, and we use, because of the intensity of this Pinot Noir, this one can handle a third of new barrels, a third of second use, and a third of third use. We have a third of new that it's not covering the beautiful fruit expression that we were able to get from this magnificent fruit. So we believe in balance as well. We don't over with oak, but we know oak can impart beautiful notes to the nose and to the palate. So that's what you're tasting right there.
So I want to point out something to those of you who are watching. I found out that Z loves perfume, and I found this out like after I did a little digging. And I used to make perfume, which I was telling her. So I think this is also why your wines smell the way that they do. I mean, they have very perfumey type like aromas in them. How important is that for you as a winemaker? Because I'm sure you have this in mind when you're making your wine.
Yeah, well, for me, and as I said before, smell and nose, it was always a part of my life since I was very, very young. I used to smell everything and create these memories around smell. So sometimes it's even strange that I can recall moments on my life based on a smell. Mm-hmm. So I'll bring back that that memory just by smelling something. So it's really neat. And I find that with wine, I can do the same. I'm always looking for the balance. And for me, wine, I try to attract people and with that nose, because you can be like blinded and not see the color. But once you're smelling and you start detecting those beautiful aromas that are like a bouquet, sometimes of flowers, sometimes of like nutty vanilla notes. The other day I used a note to describe a style of barrel, and I used vetiver. And they were like,
what's that?
Before. And I'm like, well, that's one of my favorite notes. So you find that earthiness, that green, and it's just so beautiful. So I apply what I love from perfume also to wines, and I love to be excited when I smell a wine. That almost, it's a beautiful invitation for you to drink the wine.
Yeah. And I have to say, there are some beautiful perfume shops in Argentina, and the perfume was just a little different there. You know. So very special, and I made sure I brought some back. So let's talk a little bit about your winery, because I did not ask you about your winery. Could you just give us a little history about your winery? And I know you do things that are Burgundy kind of style. So let people know a little bit about your wines in case they are new to them.
Yeah, actually you can see here a picture of one of our vineyards. That's Le Pierre, one of the icon vineyards that we owned, beautiful in Sonoma. It just gives amazing Chardonnay. So I invite you and whoever's listening, if they haven't tried Le Pierre, to try it. It's wonderful. So I worked for Sonoma Cutrer, and every time people talks about Sonoma Cutrer, the Burgundian history comes into conversation. But to me, it's like, okay, what that really means. And people start talking about terroir, and it just sounds like this fancy words that we all use, like know what they mean, but actually we don't.
Right.
But actually, to put it in simple words, and I'm fascinated about the fact that Sonoma Cutrer was one of the pioneers driving just making single varietals here in California. So early on, and we'll be celebrating this year our 40th anniversary. So yes, we've been making wine for 40 years. So that's amazing. And to make great wines, you need to know the area where you are growing that fruit. We're in the Russian River Valley. And so the best varieties, and this is like the idea from the beginning of Sonoma Cutrer. The initial varietal was Chardonnay. Chardonnay, it's a very Burgundian variety, and it grows great here. But now we're talking about a completely different country. So we need to learn about our place, our soil, our climate, and how that influences the varietal that we are growing. And to the different soil, the climate, the viticulture that you apply to those vines will give you different product, right? And that is imparted by the terroir. So the combination of everything it will be your terroir, which is different. You can have gray terroirs or not so good, but it's just going to give you a completely different style of wine. So we try to think in harmony. What grows the best here? Chardonnay. Okay, so then let's plant Chardonnay and let's go heavy on it. So that's all what was done until the 2000s, when the winemaker at the time decided, hey, we're going to start venturing in Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir makes sense since it's the other great variety from Burgundy. Mm-hmm. So we started planting secretly some Pinot Noir to show the owners that, hey, we can make great Pinot Noir. So we've been making Pinot Noir since 2002. And again, it grows great. We have 2 of our vineyards planted with Pinot Noir, and it's all about being respectful to the site, being able to bring a pristine product and adapt to the region where we grow these 2 varietals. So yeah, we're about to celebrate our 40th anniversary. Of course, we're gonna do it with a wine. So stay tuned for the 40th anniversary release. So it's gonna be a first Chardonnay, and it's gonna be amazing.
Oh my gosh, when you do that, amazing.
Right?
Oh my God, if only there was a sound to go with amazing.
I can see like everyone, what?
So when you're sitting at home and chilling, which wine are you drinking? Are you drinking Rosé, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, something else, beer?
I really try to pair, again, as the same way I pair the perfume I'm going to be wearing based on my mood. I try to pair the wine I'm going to be drinking as well. Many times with the food I'm going to be eating or not. So I actually usually tend to gravitate for sparkling wine. I love sparkling wine. We also make a very small amount of sparkling wine.
You do?
Yeah, we do. You need to come to visit us.
I will.
We can open some bottles of sparkling.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
So we do a mix of Pinot Noir, so the Blanc de Noir, and then we blend it with some Chardonnay, Blanc de Blanc, and we make a blend.
Oh, man. That sounds great. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay.
Traditional Champenois style, so it's beautiful.
I see how you are. Okay.
I love sparkling wine. Then when I'm more like chilling, I know I'm just going to be waiting maybe for food. I'll drink, of course, our Rosé. Of course. So I love Rosé. Of course, I love Pinot Noirs, and I have great access to drink great Pinot Noirs. Also, when I want to feel like going back home and calling home Argentina, many times I'll go out and buy some Malbec, and I'll be enjoying some Malbec. It just brings, again, it brings all those memories. I haven't memorized the palette and the flavors and the aromas. So it's very emotional for me. So some Malbecs, of course, I love Cabs as well. So I like to enjoy Cabernets and other varieties that we don't make, but there's wonderful wineries and winemakers that also make great varietals. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I'll say sparkling and Pinot and Rosé, of course.
A non-wine related question, because I always love to ask people this. Do you like to binge or anything on Netflix or anything? I'd love to know, what do you watch? Because that also says something. Whether it's a mystery, a bad movie, or whatever. Favorite shows?
Well, it's funny because I usually have 2 boys, so I don't get a lot of TV time for myself.
No, you're watching cartoons. Okay.
Yeah. Mostly cartoons, but lately I've been following with my mom, and my brothers also watch a series that it's an Argentinian one. It's like an old series. It's called Son Amores. So again, it's just to like listen at the accent again and go back. So I feel like I'm watching TV in Argentina. So
yeah, all good. So If someone's an aspiring winemaker, do you have any advice?
Yes, I do. Truly follow what you love, right? So if you think you love winemaking, go for it. But also find another winemaker or winery that you can visit and not just do the regular tour. Find out exactly what the job description is. And this is not to tell people, oh, it's not that great. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful industry, but it's an ag industry. So I get a lot of people that thinks that our job, it's only tasting the wine and having the glass and it's all beautiful. And it's all beautiful, but you also get to work outside, out in the vineyards. There's a lot of dust, dirt, and you'll get dirty. You will. It's a hard work, mostly during harvest. It's really hard. You're gonna commit a lot of hours. So you really need to be passionate about it. You need to understand your role. What are you doing? And so, yeah, just get a really good idea of what winemaking is, what a winemaker does in their daily life in all the different seasons, right? There's also budgeting season. We have to work with finance and do all that, that side as well. So it's like, just understand what you're getting into. And if you still think this is a great job for you, go for it. You'll do wonders. The people in the wine industry, wine lovers, wine drinkers, are really fun people to be with. Hopefully we all are very positive. I'm counting myself there.
Yeah. So you have little boys. How do you balance everything? Like during harvest, is that just a crazy time for you, or like I'll see you all after harvest, kids, or how do you do that?
It becomes really, really hard. But again, I'm very grateful because I have a great support system. So I have my mom that helps me a lot, also with the kids, and my husband. So they both are there for me during harvest, and now they truly know what I do. So they know the requirements of my job and how harvest, it's so time consuming, and I'm just immersed in that. And I also need to know that my children also need me. So I try to, the time I have with them, to make it very special. So yeah, it's hard, but you just need to give your extra effort.
One last question. So are your wines distributed all around the country? I'm not even sure. I know I can get them. I'm in New York. We can pretty much get anything, but are you all distributed around the country, or would somebody have to join your wine club?
We do national distribution, so you can find us everywhere, and you can also go to our website, and if you become a member, you will have access to some like vineyard designate wines that we have. So let's say the most frequent you will be able to find will be Russian River Valley and our Rosés out there, of course, our Chardonnays. But if you want to be able to get Owsley or the Vine Hill, which are great, as well as the Founders Reserve. So for those special releases and special selections, I will invite you to become a member of our club.
Yep, cool. Well, thank you so much. This has been so great meeting you online. I hope one day to see you in the flesh.
Yes.
If I get to New York, or I will happily come there. It's time. I haven't been to Cali in a long time. Thank you. This has been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Yolanda.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and have a great Wine Wednesday, and cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yay.